it's Kylie. I hope you're staying safe and healthy during this quarantine. Wish I could be giving you this presentation in person in front of the class, even though a part of me knows my anxiety wouldn't have liked that as much as this. I still wish I would have been there instead. But anyways, I hope you enjoy my process of my senior project.
So, to begin my process, I wanted to do a job shadow somewhere. I called around to a bunch of different bakeries and finally found Mulberries, which was downtown. Didn't end up learning a lot from them because they only had me fold cake boxes for hours at a time, which wasn't really ideal for me, so I didn't end up doing that for long. Then, as a Christmas gift, my mom and grandma got me a bunch of cake decorating equipment, and then I printed out a laminate paper and practiced some techniques over that and traced those designs. And then my mom and I made some fake icing and just went crazy on some cookie sheets here to practice my techniques so I'd get better. And then, with the help of some YouTube videos, I made some cupcakes for a group of my mom's friends that were coming over and then decorated them. I was really proud of how these turned out. I really liked them. So did my mom and all of her friends. I got a lot of compliments. But yeah, this took a lot of time, but I was really happy with how they turned out. So, originally during spring break, I was planning on meeting up with my mentor, but because of certain circumstances, I couldn't do that. So, I improvised and went over to my Aunt Paige's house, who's had lots of experience with culinary classes. She's done lots of baking throughout her life. So, we made this super duper delicious cake. It was cheesecake on the bottom with a peach syrup in between, and then a vanilla cake on top of that, which I then covered in a whipped cream frosting, and then we drizzled with a bourbon caramel syrup. Um, I spent an entire 5 hours making the cake, and I did a majority of the work by myself. I just had a little bit of help from my aunt. She was just mainly there for some moral support and to give me her tips and tricks. I was overall really happy and proud with how this cake turned out. Um, but yeah, anyways, enough about this cake. I'm gonna show you my final product. Ready to rock and roll! So, to start my cake, I measured out my ingredients, which were vegetable oil, water, the cake mix, and some eggs. I would have made the cake from scratch. However, we ran out of flour and haven't been able to find that one in the grocery stores at all. So, while those ingredients were mixing together, I went ahead and greased my two pans. Once I got the bowl off, I started pouring my cake mix into the pans, and then I went ahead and I leveled them off so they were nice and even and flat. And my oven was all ready to go, so I put the cakes in for 27 minutes at 350 degrees. While the cakes were baking, I went ahead and made the cream cheese frosting. So it was cream cheese, some butter, mixed those together, and then I added salt, vanilla, and then some freshly squeezed lemon juice. And finally, to finish off the frosting, I added the powdered sugar. And once I was done with that, my cake was finished, so I took that out of the oven and I had to let it cool for a little bit before I could decorate it, so we went ahead and ate some dinner. Once I let the cakes cool, I took them out of the pans and then leveled them off so they were nice and flat and it was easier to stack. And then once I had those done, I added the frosting in between the two layers just so it would stay in place. And then I put a very thin layer around the entire cake called the crumb layer. It makes the frosting easier to put on if you do this, and then plop it into the fridge for 20 minutes. So then I applied my second layer of frosting, which went on nice and easy. And then I took my icing bag, dyed my icing yellow, and then filled up the bag, and my mom decided to write a note saying hi. But once that was finished, I just went for it and I started decorating my cake. If there were to be one thing I were to take out of my senior project other than proper kitchen etiquette and some fun cake decorating techniques, it would definitely be that cake decorating is in itself a very good outlet for me. It's very relaxing and definitely distracting from everything going on. And while if I would have had more resources, my cake would have turned out differently, I'm still very proud of my product, and not to mention it tasted very good too. But thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed.